Am I the asshole for snapping at my mother when she asked when I would finally kick out my daughter? Hi, I am fairly new to using Reddit, but I have lurked on some subreddits before, including this one. Anyway, on to my problem. I, 66F, am retired but kept very busy by caring for my mother, 85F, and my disabled husband, 64M. My mother does not live with us. She lives in an assisted living facility where I visit her every few days to check up on her and see if she needs anything. During my latest visit, she brought up how I should finally kick out my daughter, 29F, let's call her C. Now, for some context, yes, my daughter does indeed still live with me and my husband, for many factors, including her rather fragile mental health. But what my mother does not understand is that, despite us being parent and child, we are not living in a parent and child kind of situation. We are roommates that just happen to also be family, because neither her nor my husband and I could afford places of our own in this economy. We are dependent on C just as much as she is dependent on us. C holds down a full-time job, which doesn't pay great, but not awfully either. She pays her fair share in rent, utilities, and groceries, does her fair share of chores, and sometimes even takes over some of my chores when she feels that I need a break. I cook on weekdays when C has to work, but C has weekends off, so she takes over cooking duties then. She has a savings account for emergencies. She pays for the family Netflix account and even spends some of the fun money she has left over every month, which isn't much, on little treats for my husband and me, no matter how often I ask her not to waste what little money she has to enjoy life on us. So with all of that as background, my mother's comments made me pretty angry because C does so much to not be a burden to my husband and me, despite me telling her that I love her and could never see her as a burden. I also fear my mother may have planted that thought in her head when I wasn't around. Meanwhile, all my mother seems to do is demand, demand, demand. She has nurses at her disposal in that assisted living facility and people who do grocery runs for her. But she never uses these services and demands that I do everything for her instead. She demands all of my time, energy, and attention. I suspect she may want to push me to kick C out so she could move in with my husband and I and force me to be her full-time caretaker. I was already having a shitty day, so I just snapped and told her that C's living situation is none of her damn business. She started crying and asked why I would yell at her for just being concerned. So Reddit, am I the asshole for snapping at my mother? Not the asshole parents of any age love to judge their kids' living and financial situations, even when they don't have all the information. The economy is in the shitter. I think it's nice that your daughter is staying at home